WWWI-FM Pillager, Cash 95.
So usually as soon as varsity hits the floor, then I'll start the pregame. Like I'm doing both. So the open for that is just a tick longer than the open for radio. And it does the time out perfectly out. It's fine. Captains will meet 5 captains. I think that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. 6. It's funny, they line the volleyballs up. It's like, it reminds me of dodgeball. Ready? Dodgeball.
Are they serving? Are they serving?
That changes their lineup, or now I know which one is starting. So they're serving, so it's Kaylee.
Rock my world, little country girl.
It's time now for some
I am Devin Kruger, and we welcome you to Pine River tonight, where the Pine River-Backus Tigers host the Swanville Bulldogs in their 2025 home opener. This is the Station 371 pregame show. Restock on food, fuel, and bait at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 here in Pine River. Station 371 has your bait and tackle, quality Centex gasoline, and one of the only area fuel stations with kerosene and off-road diesel. Station 371 in Pine River. Really excited to be here tonight. An early season matchup. Swanville, it's their season opener. Pine River-Backus started with a tournament last week, but this is a big section matchup right out of the gate. During the pregame show, we'll take you through the team comparison. We have both head coaches. We'll get the starting lineups and our first serve. We're running a tad late today. An exciting B squad matchup. Swanville won 2 close sets, 2-0 over the Tigers. Tonight's coverage is also brought to you in part by Country Dock Veterinary Clinic in Pine River, Trustworthy Components in Pine River, Pummeling, etc. of Pine River, and Barnum's Pine River Napa. When we come back on the pregame show, we will take a look at how our two teams enter tonight's action. It's an early season matchup as we shake the rust off here on Cash 95.9, streaming live at rjbroadcasting.com, and we are video streamed as well at yourliveevent.com.
Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com, local voices from local radios.
Shrub Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Centex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
The Booster Club could use your help with great events and fundraisers, all giving back to the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information, email PRB Booster Club, #1 at gmail.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month, 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Booster Club and all its members.
We are back on the Station 371 pregame show. Devin Kruger here with you. It's Swanville, it's Pine River-Backus early season volleyball as we take a look at our two teams and how they compare coming into tonight. Swanville, it is their season opener, 0-0. Last year, a 23-4 season. They lost to the Tigers in the 5A section semifinals. Luke Peterson's in his 5th year as head coach. When I talked to them, we do have his interview, but he also sent some notes saying they anticipate another very strong year, especially defensively. They lost really only one player, but it was their top attacker from last year. Everybody else for this Bulldogs team that went 23-4 is back this year. The piece that's really new is their setter. So they've been working a lot to make sure she is in a good groove because that setter has to command the offense for any volleyball matchup. So it'll be interesting to see how that flow goes for their first game of the year. For Pine River-Backus, they played in the Floodwood tournament last Friday. They went 3-2. Their 2 losses to top 10 teams in the Volleyball Coaches Association's preseason poll. They lost in pool play to number 8th ranked Floodwood
But listen to these scores. 27-25, 31-29. The Tigers absolutely battling Floodwood in that matchup. And then in the semifinals, they lost to fourth-ranked Mabel Canton, 25-18. Good matchup in the first one. Mabel Canton controlled the second one. But 3-2 for the Tigers coming in. Tigers were 19-12 last year. They lost in the section final to Sabika. Last year, these two teams met for the first time since 2022 at the Barb Neprud tournament, the huge tournament over in Crosby. Swanville won that matchup 2-0, and then, of course, the Tigers turned it around, and they beat the Bulldogs, eliminating them in the 5A semis. It was a 3-game sweep. Of course, for the PRB Tigers, they come into this season with a new head coach. After many years at the helm, Josh Hershey stepped aside. First-year head coach Krista Blake steps in, and with her notes, talked about 5 seniors leading the team. All 5 were in the captain's meeting, and they've got some youth. They've got 5 seniors, only 2 juniors, and then 6 sophomores on the varsity roster for the PRB Tigers. But says they've been a lot of fun to watch. They keep grinding, attacking, and pestering away at teams, and that is something that PRB Volleyball has always been known for. So we'll see how that plays out here tonight. Let's get it from the coaches themselves. When we come back on the pregame show, we will hear from head coach Luke Peterson of the Swanville Bulldogs first, and then a chat with Krista Blake, head coach of the PRB Tigers. More is coming up on the Station 371 pregame show as we get you set for volleyball here on Cash 95.9 and on yourliveevent.com.
Make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
If it wasn't in that set, no, because mine's always in my backpack.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Booster.
Welcome back to our Station 371 pregame show, getting ready for high school volleyball. And joining us now, Luke Peterson, head coach for the Swanville Bulldogs. It's opening night for you, a big section game on the road with a team that you had some great battles with last year. First of all, Coach, welcome to the new season, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good to be back. Good to be back.
Swanville had a great season last year, and it kind of developed a little sectional rivalry. Beat Pine River-Backus in a regular season tournament, lost in the section semis. Take us through your off-season, Coach. What's it look like as you prepared for Game 1 tonight?
Just basically trying to get our new setter ready so she can feed our hitters. We got all our hitters back, all our defense back, so we should be able to step right in if she's able to do the job, and she will.
What are some of the things from your – I love getting coaches' vantage points on these. What do you think it takes, and what did you try to do to make sure you have your setter comfortable from Game 1?
Just make sure she knows the offense and make sure she knows right from the beginning that she's going to be the starter, and then she needs to prepare that way.
So what has pleased you most with this experienced group back? What's pleased you the most in the couple weeks of practice getting ready for tonight?
I would say our defensive speed. We've had a couple scrimmages, and we don't really give up on balls. And that's the key to playing good teams, is you can't let the ball hit the floor.
When it comes to your bringing the hitters back, I mean, you were kind enough to send me a bunch of things. Reese Jackson on the outside, 150 kills last season. Addison Hudala, in the middle with 150 kills. What does it look like early on for depth for the Swanville Bulldogs, and where you need to go for that point that you have to have?
Well, I mean, it's going to have to be whoever's hot on the night. I mean, Reese is a senior. She's done it a lot. We got a couple sophomores that we believe are going to do the job, and it's just going to have to be balance. We lost a 350 kill person last year, so it's got to be balance.
Taking on this Pine River-Backus team, again, you kind of going back last year, and they're certainly returning some key players. Main things that you want to see, Luke, out of your team in Game 1?
Limit mistakes and communicate so we don't give easy points away.
What would it mean, do you think, for your club to come into this gym and open the season with a victory?
Well, just get us started in the right step. I mean, it's section-wise, it's us and Pine River, Mille Lacs, and that's about all. So this is a big game for us to see where we stack up against the good teams.
Coach, great to be here. Always excited for early season matchups. We appreciate the time. Good luck to you and the Bulldogs.
Thank you.
Luke Peterson, head coach for Swanville, join us as we break. More pregame coming right up here on Cash 95.9 and on yourliveevent.com.
Sponsor coverage of the Tigers.
At
Like them
Enbridge,
on
we're
Facebook for
focused
events
on
and fundraisers.
relationships.
The PRB
23
Boosters
Canadian
could
First
use your
Nation
help.
and
Be
Métis
part of great events and
communities now own
fundraisers,
an
all
equity
built to
stake
give
in
back
Enbridge
and present more
Athabasca
opportunities
Pipeline.
for the students
In
of Pine
Minnesota,
River-Backus
Enbridge has
schools.
spent
For information
$450
or to
million.
get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Shrub-X.
We are back on the Station 371 pregame show. Volleyball action tonight, and the home opener for the PRB Tigers is join us. First year head coach Krista Blake. Home opener tonight.
5 games after
a tournament already under your belt.
Thanks for joining us on the pregame to talk about the home opener.
It's nice to be here with you.
First year head coach, I want to start before the tournament. The preparation for the season, you got hired on this spring, so you were at least you got to know the girls a little bit over the summer. Take us through this off season and how you prepared for not only the team but for yourself stepping into the head coaching gig.
Yeah, you need to be super organized, is what I learned out of the bat, and really flexible with my own schedule and the girls' schedule. We were in the gym once a week, always, and always had our Monday night league, and we threw in some tournaments this weekend. So this summer, we had our tournament this weekend. Sorry. But no, so even if I am like the new head coach, I've spent like countless hours already this summer in the gym with them, and they have done the same back to me too. So it's been like a nice little group coming into this.
Well, and certainly, you come into this job, knowing that PRB volleyball has been near the top of the conference, near the top of the sections for many years. You kind of know that going in. So with the experience that you have with the players and just putting your own spin on things, how smoothly do you feel things went for preparing how you want to see them play?
Really well. We have a good group of coachable kids and like fast, quick learners too. I wouldn't say I'm like too far off from what they've been used to in the gym, but I am just enough to get their minds going. But they've really rose to the occasion of like playing my kind of ball and getting the team up to like where I think their best level is at. So.
What have you been most pleased with when it comes to kind of what they're showing you of their capabilities on the floor?
Like skill-wise,
Yeah.
I would come at us for like we're really good at serve receive, and that we've spent 2 months getting really like good and prepared for that, and have some good like ball control going on. That I don't know how much we've really have trusted ourselves in that. So to see that extremely just like flourish, and then we're on to like the next phase of game management is what our girls like to say and summarize what I call that. Game management is what we're on to next.
3-2 in the Floodwood tournament to open up the season. Your 2 losses were to top 10 teams in the preseason rankings. Just overall, how did you feel you played at the tournament?
Really great.
Good.
Like I said, like we got tested right out of the gates. But I'm like, thanks AD for that schedule and those opponents to know where we really are, because we felt pretty good going into it, but you never know what's outside of your gym and when you get faced with that competition. And they were like, yes, let's take it on, and we're gonna like put point by point. Like that Floodwood was 25, 27, 29, 31.
Wow.
So it's from where we were at in the summer to even just from last Friday, we used to be on our heels a little bit, and it's really nice to know that if you're going to go toe-to-toe with us, we're actually right there too, toe-to-toe.
And now the home opener, you have Swanville, who had a really good season last year, and the Tigers were able to beat them in the section semis, which I know you dialed into probably most of this information. So what are the concentration points? What do you want to focus on with the girls tonight, trying to get win number 1 on the home floor?
We build our moments. We have a very spread out offense. We don't actually have one true like killer and all points for us. So when we talk about working really hard together as a team, like our outsides might build that point for our middles or our right sides to get that attack after like 3 or 4 rallies. So we're kind of in it for like the long haul on every point. So when like I said, I'm like, we're really gritty, and we're gonna like extremely grind it out. It's what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks in the gym, is like extended those rallies, and they still think I'm crazy when I'm like, build your moment, build your moment. But we're getting it. That's where like Friday came into play. So they're getting it. They're getting it.
Well, we are excited to be starting the season and getting a matchup here in Pine River, which should be a big section matchup. Coach, we wish you all the best, and we'll hopefully talk to you after the match.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Crystal Blake, head coach for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. We will be back with more right after this on Cash 95.9.
Is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge. Sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Piers, or Brainerd online at hannikininsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people. Viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community. Making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Shrub Excavating LLC is...
And we are back here on yourliveevent.com. And we are getting set for high school volleyball with Pine River-Backus and Swanville. Swanville in the blue jerseys, black shorts. Libero in the white. Pine River-Backus black jerseys, black shorts, orange numbers trimmed in white with the Libero in white. Blackout theme for the PRB student section as we get set for our opening set. Again, Swanville won the B squad matchup 2-0. The second set was 25-23. Pine River-Backus won the toss and elected to serve. As the officials will check the lineup. Coverage tonight also brought to you by Barnum's Pine River Napa, Plumbing, etc. in Pine River, Country Dock Veterinary Clinic in Pine River, and Trustworthy Components in Pine River. Of course, as we start our broadcast season, we'd like to take this time to remind you that everything that we do for our high school sports coverage is made possible by the advertisers and sponsors. Please give them a huge thank you, as without their support, none of this is possible. As we look down on the court, Swanville will be to our left, Pine River-Backus to our right here in set one. Now, of course, ever since the COVID years, some schools have gone back to, actually, in college, I see they still will rotate sides. They don't do that in high school anymore. Your bench is your bench. Actually, I might be wrong on that. They might switch sides. I've seen some where they don't. It's just, we play it by ear here. A long look at the lineups as Coach Krista Blake is now double checking. Pine River-Backus trying to avoid a early point given up due to a rotation violation. So a couple of extra questions before we get rolling here tonight. Following the matchup, we'll have, of course, our post-game recap, notes, numbers, and all the awards. As at first, Ella Brewer was in the front row, and then Coach Krista Blake pulled her out, put Autumn Burns in. And now they're double checking the rotation again with the floor official. Swanville looks like they're ready to go. A couple of the notes, senior Avery Douglas Libero had over 450 digs last season. Sophomore Addison Hudala and senior Reese Jackson both had 150 kills last year. Jackson was also a 98% server. Some stats from the Floodwood tournament Coach Krista Blake sent to us. Leah Evelyn and Kaylee Johnson, who both do setting duties. That's one difference between these two teams, as the Tigers have a 6-2 offense with 2 setters, and Swanville runs a 5-1 with 1 setter. Both Evelyn and Johnson tallied 26 assists in the Floodwood tournament. Callie Norman led the way with 17 total kills on the day. Mimi Buchers had 13. Ariana Burns had 10. And then 2, Ella Dudal and Ella Brewer each had 9. So that shows some potential very good depth for Pine River-Backus. And looks like Coach Krista Blake will have to use one of her substitutions before we even get started. But now they've got it where they want it. And we are ready to start. Leah Evelyn is going to stand deep on the left side as we are ready for action here in Pine River, and here we go. The first serve is a liner to the back row. Bartel will set up Jackson on the left side, the senior, dug up by Evelyn. Bump set by Wirtz, the Tigers libero, and a cross-court shot is out of bounds, and a hitting error will give Swanville the first point of the evening. Swanville will send in Hudala into the middle, as the first serve across the way is deep and out. First serve from Allie Bartel out, and we are tied up at 1 apiece. Opening set just underway. Ariana Burns with the serve to the near side. Swanville goes middle to Hudala, has to just bump it across. Tigers going to try to take advantage. Evelyn, right side. Norman with the tip down, nicely saved by Jackson, and pop back over to the Tigers. Evelyn goes left side now. Ella Dahl hits, and the hitting error will give Swanville a 2-1 lead, and we see a couple of early miscues for this early season matchup. Jackson will head back to serve. Deep serve. Wirtz had to backtrack to it. Ella Dahl left side and too deep. Swanville grabs a 3-1 lead here in the early going. Deep serve to Wirtz. Evelyn, right side, and a shot down, and it was off of a Bulldog and good. As Ella Brewer collects the first kill of the evening, set up by Evelyn. 3-2 in our opening set. Brewer back to serve. Brewer had a team-high 6 aces in the 5 games up in Floodwood. Swanville barely gets it over on the third hit. Evelyn goes to Norman on the right side, off the tip. That one nicely saved on the near side by Bartell. To the middle, Bucher's deep shot and out off the foot of the line judge. 4-2, Swanville in front. Addison Hudala back to serve, a deep serve. And just over the net, and that is a fortunate ace for the Swanville Bulldogs. And Swanville 23-4 last year. That 4th loss knocked them out of the playoffs, courtesy of these PRB Tigers. Deep serve again. Elladall misplays it a little bit, saved up and bumped across deep. Jackson, Bartell going left side. It has to be just pushed across quickly by Allison Bernadotte. There's a shot in the middle by Buchers. Back to Bernadotte. Tip at the net. Evelyn one hands. Wirtz one hands, but it's going to go over the net, out of bounds on the near side. 6-2 Swanville. Set number 1. Another serve from Hudala in the middle. The tip right there with the tip back is Chuba. Now it's sent across by Swanville. Wirtz gonna bump set, goes right side. Norman off the tip. That one's saved in the back. Bartell, good hustle to get to it to the near side. Left-handed swing there by Libby Wimmer. And Pine River-Backus keeps it alive. That's what they want to do, is keep scrapping. Now one off the net. Nice save on the dive by Ariana Burns. And Buchers bumps it across again. Longest rally so far. And a tap across by Allison Bernadotte. Left side, Ella Dahl. Tigers attack. Tipped at the net and dug up. Bartell back to Bernadotte. Left side. Goes cross court. Dahl tipped up by Buchers. Dahl sends it down and saved by Jackson. Mid-season form, and now a shot across and off the fingertips. Allison Bernadotte unassisted. Makes it a 7-2 Swanville advantage. It is 4 straight points for the visiting Bulldogs. They've scored 6 of the last 7. Addison Hudala serving again, keeping the run going. Evelyn to Buchers left side, cross court, and a beauty. Well-placed shot from her heels. Mimi Buchers sends it across. Johnson will come in for Norman for the Tigers on the side out. And then Evelyn will exit in favor of Maren Lindquist. Johnson will head back to serve. Tigers down 4, opening set on their home floor. Johnson on the right side, sharp liner and an ace. Johnson tallied 3 aces in the tournament Friday for the Tigers. Makes it back-to-back for PRB. Johnson sends one to the back line. Jackson misplays it. It's tracked down by the libero Douglas and shot across. PRB, middle, Buchers off the net. The set pushed her on her heels just a little bit, so on the follow-through, went to the top of the net, and Swanville gets a quick side out. Entering is Morgan Van Heel. She's back to serve for the Bulldogs in blue. Deep serve to center. Good pass by Wirtz. Johnson to Buchers. This one rolls over the net, and a fortunate roll for the Tigers. Buchers' second kill, give Johnson the assist. 8-5, Swanville. On the left side, Ella Dahl with the tough jump serve. Nicely played by Van Heel. On the right side, shot blocked by the Tigers, and that'll be a double hit. Ace block, first one of the night, and it belongs to Mimi Buchers. Tigers have now scored 4 of the last 5, and they've crawled back within 2. It's 8-6 Bulldogs. Ella Dahl with the deep serve to Jackson, and that is an ace serve. Eladal brings PRB back within one. Game 1 here in Pine River. Eladal left side, a sharp liner again, nicely played by Douglas. Here's a quick set and a slap across by Bernadotte. Wirtz bumps it, and that'll be over and out of bounds. And a gift point breaks the run for Pine River-Backus at 3. Chuba to serve quickly. Deep serve to Eladal. Johnson goes middle and a tap across by Lundqvist. Here's a shot across, nicely tipped at the net. The back set, Bucher's right side, cross court, too far. 10-7. Swanville here in game 1. Serve to midcourt. Left side, Ariana Burns, hard off the tip. One-handed, but not quite. Boy, great effort, but unable to pick it up was Douglas. As Burns scores the point. And it's 10-8 in favor of Swanville. Bucher's back to serve. This one slapped across from the midcourt area. Johnson left side, Burns again, cross court, too far. Eleven to 8. Swanville up front. Another serve, and this one absolutely stuffed. Ella Brewer got completely denied by Addison Hudala. Swanville repays the favor, scoring 4 of the next 5, and they are back up by 4. It's 12 to 8. Avery Douglas to serve. Johnson goes right side. Lindquist dug out on the near side by Van Heel. Into the middle. Hudala tipped at the net. Nicely hustled play by Eladal, and Lindquist will bump it across. Here come the Bulldogs again. Jackson, and that one blocked, and that one is saved, and they're going to say one of the Bulldogs was underneath the net. Wasn't that it wasn't a great save or a good save, but they say Reese Jackson's foot crossed the line, and the Tigers catch a bit of a break on that one after what would have been a sensational dig by Van Heel. Back to serve, Leah Eveland, and that one probably would have went out. That was a hard line, but played, and then Hudala sends it out of bounds, and the Tigers get a bit of a gift. Eveland's serve was rifled, but it was basically Chuba went into defense mode on that one. That was coming right at her. 12-10, Swanville, game number 1. Pass over the net, and the Tigers can't take full advantage. Jackson on the left side, blocked at the net, Callie Norman. Norman rejects, and the Tigers back within 1, 12-11. Evelyn set to serve. The sharp liner, that one played up in the air by Van Heel. Hudala with the tip. Evelyn dives in. Hudala tries to send it over, and Swanville, good hustle. Van Heel keeps it alive. Evelyn to the middle. Shot. Ella Brewer one-handed beautifully by Chuba. And Jackson bumps it deep. Eladal. Evelyn left side. Burns into the net. And the hitting error puts Swanville back up by 2. Coming into this one with the experience of Swanville and the 5 seniors for PRB. And now a serve out of bounds as Bartel is 0 for 2 from the service line. I was kind of talking with the guys up here, and they said, we really don't know what to expect tonight, other than we figured it'd be competitive. Ariana Burns with a short serve, and it's pushed over on hit 3. Evelyn, left side, Eladal off the net, 4 hits. Nope, they're going to say it was tipped, and play continues. Callie Norman tips it across. Swanville wanted 4 hits, but the officials ruled it was tipped. Now here's Hudala, and she hits it out of bounds, and the sophomore with a little bit of struggles with the sideline shots, and we are tied at 13. Here's the serve over by Burns. Left side. Here's a left-handed tip by Libby Wimmer, and that one was on the line. Leah Evelyn with a look of shock. She let it drop, and they're going to say it painted the stripe, and an unorthodox kill for Libby Wimmer and the Swanville Bulldogs. I only have 2 kills for Swanville here in this first set. And the serve, and it shot in too deep. Ella Dahl out of bounds, and just like that, after Pine River-Backus tied it up, back-to-back points on miscues by the Tigers. Swanville 15, Pine River-Backus 13, set 1. Tigers on the attack in the middle, and Norman tips it into the net. And that is 3 straight miscues that have given Swanville points after the Tigers fought so hard to tie it at 13. Play moving quickly. Jackson, deep serve to Wirtz. Evelyn backpedaling, right side Brewer, dig by Douglas. The set in the middle, and hustle over is Bartel to keep it over. Ella Dahl, left side, deep, too deep. And Coach Blake might need to think about a timeout as Swanville has scored 4 straight points on Pine River-Backus mistakes. She will not yet. Jackson serves deep, Wirtz the play, low pass, right side, Brewer across court, but out. And that's a 5-point run for the Swanville Bulldogs. And Coach Blake gonna let them play it out right now. Jackson with the jump serve to Burns. High set, left side, Ella Dahl off the antenna. 19-13 in our opening set. Swanville now with a chance to pull away. Jackson sends it deep and too deep. Tigers get one back on the service error. Mimi Buchers will head back into the front row for the Tigers, replacing Wirtz, the libero. Here's Ella Brewer with a rifle of a serve, but she zips it too far out of bounds. And the point right back to Swanville, 20-14. Addison Dalla serving. She has an ace for the Bulldogs in the first set. Evelyn, well, I thought there could have been a double hit on that one, but play goes on. Bartel to the middle and a shot. Evelyn 1-2 and into the net. And Delaney Chuba will pick up the kill. I have that as only the 2nd kill. Make that the 3rd kill for Swanville here in this first set. And Pine River-Backus coach Krista Blake will finally take the timeout. Opening set here in Pine River for the Tigers home opener. And it is Swanville 21, Pine River-Backus 14. Timeout on the floor and with us on Cash 95.9 and yourliveevent.com.
With any excavation project, Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
Back with you here in Pine River. Devin Kruger with you. 21-14. Swanville in front. It was tied at 13, an 8-1 run for the visiting Bulldogs. Addison Hudala with the serve, and the Tigers cannot play it cleanly, making it 22-14. And really the key thing is 3 kills and 1 block for Swanville, yet they have an 8-point lead. A lot of points off PRB miscues, but there's an ace serve. That's the 2nd for Addison Hudala. And Swanville is now closing in on a Game 1 win. Hudala takes her time going back this time. 7 for 7, 2 aces so far. Deep serve to Ariana Burns. Here's the set from Evelyn. Left side, Buchers, deep. Hudala picks it up. Bartel in the middle, and into the net on the swing was Chuba. Tigers get the side out. Johnson will come back in. Lindquist will come back in for PRB. And here's the serve. That one just clipping the net and going over. Left-handed shot deep by Swanville. Burns will bump to Dahl on the left side. Takes the swing. Dug out in the back by Jackson. Here's the set left side and a tip by Bernadotte. Tigers will clear. And on the third hit, Lindquist will just have to send it across. Here's Bartel to the middle. Chuba with a push. Burns cleans it up. Johnson to the left side. Dahl with a big swing. Blocked but out of bounds. Ella Dahl will collect her first kill. Tigers need a run now. 23-16 here in game number 1. Johnson, line serve to the near side to Douglas. Here's the set. Bernadotte off the tip and down, and a quick side out set point for the Swanville Bulldogs. Checking in, back to serve, Morgan Van Heel. On the right side, Van Heel walks up, and a liner just off the net. Well played by Wirtz. Buchers in the middle, shot dig by Douglas. Bernadotte left side and out. Tigers stay alive, 24-17. Ella Dahl the serve. Midcourt. Bartel, Bernadotte with the tip. Burns to Johnson. Goes middle to Buchers. Blocker wasn't quite there. Van Heel with a tremendous dig at the net. Chuba tipped and then down. Tigers slap it across. To the set, and it's going to be bumped high by Douglas, the libero. Miscommunication for Swanville. Buchers again in the middle. This time it's down and good. Third kill for Mimi Buchers. 24-18 as Pine River-Backus trying to at least get some momentum back and turn the pressure on. Ella Dahl back to serve on that left side. Here's the jump serve deep to Douglas. Bartel will turn and try to tap it across. Tigers saw it coming, or what do we have? I think we have an inadvertent whistle, and they're going to replay it. I think the top official was maybe thought there was an illegal hit. Now we're going to replay the point. Still 24-18. Here's the jump serve deep. Nicely played by Douglas. Here's Chuba on the right side, and that one is down and good. Quick set. Really nice quick set by Bartel. Chuba with a great swing, and Swanville on the road grabs game 1, 25-18. Swanville goes up 1-0 in this Section 5A matchup. Early season volleyball in 2025. It is Swanville 1, Pine River-Backus 0. And we'll recap the first set, go on to set 2 right after this on Catch 95.9, rjbroadcasting.com, and video streamed at yourliveevent.com.
Stock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
We are back here in Pine River. Devin Kruger with you. 25-18, your final in set 1. Swanville takes a 1-0 lead against season opening night for the Swanville Bulldogs, and a run in the back half of the set makes the difference. Only had 2 ties. Swanville never trailed in the opening set. Swanville had a 7-2 lead. Pine River-Backus got within 1 at 8-7. Swanville responded, pushed the lead to 12-8. Pine River-Backus then had a 5-1 spurt, tying us at 13. But then Pine River-Backus miscues helped Swanville to a 6-0 run on the way to a 19-13 lead, and Swanville was able to close it out 25-18. Serving-wise, the Bulldogs are 20 out of 23 with 2 aces. Pine River-Backus 18 of 19 with 2 aces. Addison Hudala 8 for 8 with 2 aces for the Bulldogs. Leah Evelyn 5 for 5 with an ace. Ella Dahl 5 for 5 with an ace for the Tigers. 4 assists for Allie Bartel, 2 kills for Allison Bernadotte and Delaney Chuba. 4 assists for Kaylee Johnson, 3 kills and a block for Mimi Buchers to highlight PRB in set 1. Teams will not change sides. They'll stay their respective sides. Pine River-Backus to our right, Swanville to our left, as Swanville will get the opening serve for set number 2. Both coaches early season, of course, for Luke Peterson. I asked him what he wanted to see out of the first game, and he said less mistakes. He's got an experienced club. Neither team was what I'd call real impressive in the first set. We saw just a couple of good rallies. Most of the points for both teams were scored on miscues, so I'm curious to see if that cleans up a bit here in set 2. The first serve from Allie Bartel, who was 0 for 2 from the service line, is a clean one, and the Tigers start with a quick score in the middle. Ella Brewer grabs her second kill, and the Tigers grab the early 1-0 lead. Here in set 2, Ella Dahl will start the serving with that jump serve. Here's Bartel, Hudala, and that one good in the middle. That's the first kill. Hudala was without a kill in the first set. She had a few swings, but was sending them wide. And it's 1-1 as Jackson, the serve, she was 6 out of 7. And there's another successful attack for the Tigers, as that's the early confidence builder for PRB. Two-1 Tigers as Brewer sends one across on the jump serve. Hudala will try to tip, and she'll send it short into the net, hitting error. And a 3-1 lead for the Tigers. And then an ace serve, Ella Brewer just inside the back line, and the Tigers grab an early 4-1 lead here in set 2. Swanville leading 1-0 in the match. Ella Dahl again sends one, and another ace. She goes back to back. Now for the Tigers, can you keep the heat on? Standing on that left side, the jump serve, and another tough one. Douglas barely picks it up off the deck. Here's Chuba, left side and through the fingertips of Ella Dahl, and a big side out there for the Swanville Bulldogs as Delaney Chuba scores one from the left side. Well, I hope this is more the trend. It's more fun sometimes to see teams earn the points. Hudala with a midcourt serve. The set left side, Burns tipped up by Hudala. Bartel hustles over to Bernadotte. High bump deep right to the line. Dahl with the pass. Nice pass. Johnson right side. Norman tips, and it's good. The timing was a touch off, but it ended up being good fortune for the Tigers as Norman with the successful tip. 6-2 Pine River-Backus. Eveland will come in for Norman. And Coach Krista Blake going to switch it up a little bit and keep Johnson on the floor with Eveland. Eveland 5 for 5 with an ace in the first set. She serves from the left side, and that one too deep. Couple of Tigers have some very good line drive serves, and sometimes it's tough for a receiving team. That one not so tough for the Bulldogs to say, let it fly by. Morgan Van Heel, 2 for 2 in the opener, sends a short serve. Diving in was Ella Dahl, and the pass goes back over to the Bulldogs. Bernadotte with a shot to the back row, sent high. Eveland, left side. Here's a shot by Burns, tipped at the net. Douglas will back set it to Bernadotte. She'll slap it deep to the corner. Aladal, great hustle. Buchers sends it back, and Burns will bump it across. Here's the set by Bartel. Back to Bernadotte, and that one sent past the back line. Swanville called for a touch, but honestly, I didn't see anything even close to it, and the officials agreed, 7-3. Ariana Burns back to serve. Sends it deep to the near side. Send pass back over. Johnson, left side. Dahl off the net. Saved by the senior libero Douglas. And shot back across by Bernadotte. Eveland will go left side. Dahl with the tip. Douglas saves. Bartel back to Bernadotte on the left side. Puts it into the net. And the Tigers' lead is 7-3. Make that 8-3. 3 straight for the Tigers. Ariana Burns back to serve. Sends it deep to the far side. Swanville working from our left, has to tap it across. Eveland, left side. Dahl, too far. Good opportunity by the wayside for the Tigers. 8-4. Swanville with a 1-0 lead. We are in set 2. And the serve sent across. And a shot into the net, but somehow gets enough of the roll for Mimi Buchers, who grabs her 4th kill. 9-4 PRB. Buchers serving. Had just 1 serve in the first set. Here's Jackson, right side, tipped at the net, popped right back over by Dahl. Bernadotte from a couple of back steps sends it across. Eveland will go left side to Dahl again. This one back row saved by Chuba. To the left side, Bernadotte tips far side. Eveland scoops. Johnson steps in, serves Dahl back court, and that one off the hands of Chuba. Saved, and a third hit just lightly bumped over by Swanville. Eveland back sets. Brewer backing up cross court, kept it in bounds to Van Heel. Bernadotte left side off the tip. Eveland pops it up. Brewer with the bump. Dahl from the 10-foot line rolls it over and just had enough on it to spin it across. And Luke Peterson wants a timeout for Swanville. 10-4 over and out, but we're not anywhere close to being out here. Timeout on the floor. Swanville with a 1-0 match lead. But Pine River-Backus leading 10-4 in set number 2. Back after this on Catch 95.9 and YourLiveEvent.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
Back with you as Mimi Buchers serves it. Tigers with a 10-4 lead in set 2, trying to even this up. Ella Dahl off a tip, and right out of the timeout, the Tigers stay on the attack. And Ella Dahl makes it 11-4 as Pine River-Backus is on a 6-1 run. Buchers with a routine serve mid-court from the back row, tipped at the net off a nice swing by Van Heel. Johnson goes to Dahl, cross court. Douglas saves, bumped up by Jackson, and Douglas sets it over. Johnson goes middle, Brewer, and she sends it deep. Didn't get a lot on that one. Bartel to Bernadotte, has to tip, but tips it out of bounds. The set was offline. Coach Peterson talked about that young setter, Allie Bartel. That set pushed Bernadotte right to the net. So it didn't quite work out. Now here's another serve by Buchers. Here comes the shot over by Bernadotte. Here's Eveland, left side. Dahl off the net, and no touch this time. 12-5. As the libero Wirtz comes back in. Update from Pequot Lakes. Patriots take game 1, 25-15 over Bemidji on KOKS Talk 100. Here's the serve by the libero Douglas, and the Tigers with amazing hustle by Kaylee Johnson and Ariana Burns, and what a point. Johnson, Burns teaming up for a sensational hustle on a tough serve by Avery Douglas, and Swanville hits it out of bounds on the return. Pine River-Backus up 13-5 here in the second set. 1-0 Swanville in the match. Tough serve, Kaylee Johnson. Left side, Jackson with the touch, and that one down and good. Placed it nicely. First kill tonight for the senior Jackson. Makes it 13-6. Sauk Rapids Rice up 1-0 on Brainerd in a Central Lakes Conference matchup tonight. Allie Bartel to serve for Swanville. Swanville won the first set 25-18. Deep serve, and Wirtz tried to pull back at the last minute and couldn't. Ace serve for Bartel and Swanville. Makes it 13-7. Swanville hoping that starts a bit of a rally. Here's another tough serve. Johnson backpedaling to the right side, Dahl, and she puts it right between two Bulldogs who do not communicate. Dahl with her third kill in this set. Johnson up to 8 assists. 14-7. St. Cloud Cathedral on top of Piers 1-0. That's a Granite Ridge Conference matchup. Ella Dahl jump serve, tough one. Douglas off the shoes tops. Hudala with a tip. Johnson high in the air. Wirtz, the bump to Burns. Left side, cross. Douglas with the dig. Jackson backpedaling, just gets it inside the antenna. Johnson to the middle. Brewer shot and out. 14-8. PRB in set number 2. Here's a sharp serve by by Bartel. Bartel setting up left side. Chuba, tough spot, and Johnson just kept it alive. Norman bumps it across. Bartel to the middle. Hudala high off the block. Brewer tips. Douglas is there. Chuba bumps it over in play. Good rally. Johnson right side to Norman. That one down off the blocker and good. Kelly Norman's third kill of the set. (15-8). Pine River-Backus leading set number 2. Ella Brewer back to serve. The jump serve had back-to-back aces her last trip up. Here's a shot by Hudala, and that one is just past the back line. Addison Hudala struggles continue on the attacks. 16-8 Pine River-Backus. Sabika beat Walker Hackensack Akeley 25-21 in their first set. The pass, the serve receive, sent back to the Tigers. Callie Norman, shot to the right side, down and good, and the Tigers are rolling here in set number 2. 17-8 PRB after Swanville took the opener. Back with another serve and an ace serve. Brewer rolls one over the net. 18-8. Pine River-Backus. They've scored 4 in a row. Brewer holding serve. Jackson with the bump. Bartel the set. Chuba with the attack. Popped up by Johnson. Here comes the set, and Burns to the back row. Bartel to Chuba again, left side through the block. That one down and good for Swanville. Snaps a 4-point run for the Tigers, makes it 18-9. Hudala back to serve. Bumped up Burns. Little misplay as Norman has to tap it across. Bartel to Chuba, left side, blocked! Callie Norman. Second rejection tonight for Norman. 19-9 PRB. Those blocks can be big momentum points, especially you're at this time of the game where Pine River-Backus is just trying to make sure they don't give Swanville a chance to come back. Eveland with a sharp line serve. Here comes Swanville. Bernadotte from the 10-foot line sends it over. Evelyn sets left side. It's Burns. Shot blocked. Nicely played and sent back over by Wirtz on the pass. Jackson to Bernadotte into the net. Hitting error. Swanville 20-9 PRB. Tigers not only trying to even the score and make sure we play 4 here tonight, they're trying to shake that confidence of this Swanville team. Here's another tough serve. Evelyn went to the right side to serve that time, and Swanville just has to send it across. Evelyn, all the set at the antenna, and the Tigers will give a point back as Evelyn's set was at the antenna. 20-10. Pine River-Backus in set 2. Morgan Van Heel re-enters for the Bulldogs. Serving left to right. Here's the set in the middle. Bucher's shot nicely picked up by Van Heel. Bernadotte left side, and that one is across and out. Tough shot by Bernadotte, but just a bit wide of the line. 21-10. Burns to serve. Burns sends it near side. Van Heel. And it's going to be sent across by Bartel. Tigers, they were ready for it. Here's a tip by Buchers. Sliding in is Bernadotte. Wirtz will set up. Eveland will send it across. Both teams just having to improvise. Here's Bernadotte with a shot. Wirtz with the dig over the net. Tapped across. Wirtz with another outstanding dig. And the Tigers keep the ball going. Here's a shot. Deep. Ariana Burns digs. Buchers from the middle. Popped up by Bernadotte. To the right side, Van Heel slaps it across. Evelyn will tap it on 2, and 2 Swanville Bulldogs collide as it's hit out of bounds. 22-10 as the hustle and that scrappiness of Pine River-Backus in full force in set 2. 22-10. Burns with a line serve to the near side. Left side, Bernadotte. Tigers attacking right to left. Johnson with a swing, one-handed by Douglas the libero. Bernadotte into the net again. And Coach Peterson simply looks on as PRB dominating set 2, 23-10. And that's the big turnaround between Pine River-Backus' miscues in set 1. Much cleaner play by the Tigers in set 2. Now Burns, not to mention some outstanding scrappiness. Johnson sets it across. Bartel sets Chuba with a tip. Evelyn is there. Buchers will set Johnson a little roll reversal. Bulldogs easily track it down. Bartel with the tap. And now it sits on the net, and it's hit underneath the net on the second hit by the Tigers. 23-11 as Swanville gets the side out. Delaney Chuba serving far side. Evelyn left side. Elidal into the net. Back-to-back points for Swanville. Haven't had back-to-back points for the Bulldogs since they made it 14-7. Tigers put together some nice spurts to build a big lead. 23-12. Chuba with a deep serve to Burns, trying to help Swanville come back. Here's a deep push by Johnson. Bartel in the middle. Johnson with a nice dig. Slapped over by Dahl. Bartel goes left side to Bernadotte. Bernadotte at the net, tipped by the Tigers. Now on the near side, Bartel sends it over. Evelyn to the right side to Johnson off the tip. Dug out on the slide by Chuba. Bernadotte again with a left-handed tip. Evelyn at the line, left side, Dahl sent up by Van Heel. Bernadotte again with a swing. This one into the net, and a good rally ends with a hitting error. 24-12, set point PRB. And serving is Mimi Buchers. Buchers will send it over. Swanville sends it over. Here's Brewer with a shot. Douglas with the save, but nobody was there to pick it up for Swanville. And a big-time reversal in set 2 as the Tigers pull away for a 25-12 victory. We are tied at 1. 25-18 Swanville, 25-12 Pine River-Backus. 1-1 as we head to the third. This is high school volleyball on WWWI-FM Pillager Brainerd Baxter, RJBroadcasting.com, and YourLiveEvent.com.
Question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted.
Welcome back to Pine River. Devin Kruger with you. We are knotted up. We're going to play at least 4 here tonight. Home opener for PRB. They come in 3-2 after the Floodwood tournament. Swanville, this is opening night. Quick update in Pequot Lakes. The Patriots are up 2-0 on Bemidji after 25-15 in set number 1. 25-22 in set number 2. Pequot Lakes is in front of Bemidji on KLKS Talk 100. In set 2, Pine River-Backus earned a lot of their points, something that they weren't able to do in set 1, and Swanville ended up pulling away for a little bit. Pine River-Backus jumped out to a 5-1 lead, then just pushed it from there, up 12-4, up 18-8, got it to double figures, closed it out with a 13-point victory in set number 2. In that second set, Swanville was 13 of 13 serving with 2 aces, make that 14 of 14 serving with 2 aces. For PRB, they were 22 out of 23. They also had 2 aces. Ella Brewer went back-to-back. Kaylee Johnson had 6 assists, 3 kills for Ella Dahl, 4 kills and a block for Callie Norman to lead PRB in set 3. 4 assists for Allie Bartel, along with the 2 aces for Swanville. Delaney Chuba with a pair of kills. So here we go, set 3, and Ella Dahl will start the serving. Matt Thurston joining me here for set number 3. And the pass tipped at the net by Norman, an outstanding save by Bartel. Here's Reese Jackson, the senior, with a swing and a score as Swanville gains the first point here in set number 3. Matt, thanks for joining me.
Devin, great to be here. Thanks for inviting me. You always get the good seats up here.
I love the view here at PRB. Here's a sharp serve by Bartel. 2 Tigers nearly collide, and some miscommunication and a set and a bump that's way too far. Swanville will grab an early 2-0 lead as Swanville tries to reset here early in set 3. We're tied up at 1. Bartel, and too far. That was Bartel's issue in the first set. She cleaned that up in set 2. Now rifles one past the back line in set 3, 2-1. As Ella Brewer will head back to serve for the Tigers, and she scores another ace, 3rd ace of the night for Ella Brewer, and we're knotted up at 2. Brewer ready again. Douglas, nice pass on the serve receive. Here's Hudala, and her tip is blocked. Bernadotte sends it over. Tigers coming back. Johnson, left side to Burns, tipped at the net. Chuba pops it in the air. Sent up by Douglas, and Jackson slaps it across. Johnson for the Tigers to the middle. Bukers, and Douglas with another save with her left elbow. And Chuba, great hustle, but That'll be 3 points for the PRB Tigers. Believe it or not, that's the first lead change we've had tonight as the Tigers grab a 3-2 lead here in set number 3. Swanville never trailed in the first set. Pine River-Backus never trailed in the second set. Here's another tough serve by Brewer. Tipped across by the Bulldogs. Burns will send it over on the second hit. Here's Bartell. Quick set. Bernadotte. Shot. Saved by Johnson. Bumped over by Burns. Swanville resets. Jackson, the left-handed tip. Diving dig by Ariana Burns. And Brewer will send it across again. A lot of scrambling with these two in this rally. Jackson with another tip. Johnson was there, but they're going to say Jackson went into the net, and that's 4 straight points for the Tigers after Swanville started set 3 with a 2-0 advantage. Coming in for the first time for PRB, sophomore Lily Barkus, and she is going to stand in the middle of the front row as Brewer sends over another tough line drive serve. Hudala with the tip. Swanville unable to get their offense clicking. Norman with a tip on the far side. Hudala, nice one-handed save. Bernadotte shoots deep in the corner. Brewer tracks it down, would have been out. Barkus, first swing of the night. It's dug out by Chuba. Here it's tipped across by the libero Douglas. Johnson to the middle. Brewer. Douglas with the save off the rafters. Bartell plays it beautifully. And Jackson keeps it alive. Johnson will set right side. Norman off the net and good. Long rally and the Tigers run continues 5-2. Ariana Burns will come in after a quick breather for Barkus. Tonight's action via Cash 95.9, also brought to you by Trustworthy Components in Pine River, Country Dock Veterinary Clinic in Pine River, Barnum's Pine River Napa, and Plumbing Etc. in Pine River as Ella Dahl make that. Ariana Burns sent that one too far. 5-3. Now a shot by Buchers, dug out and bumped across by Chuba. Ella Dahl to Johnson in the middle. Buchers shot nicely saved on a slide by Douglas. Chuba sends it deep. Dahl to Wirtz. Left side, Burns with the shot. Douglas there again. Bartell with a center tip right into the swing of Burns, but saving is Jackson. Chuba off the blockers. And another long scrapped out battle here going. Chuba with a great save. And then Bartell went to set it and misplayed it off her hands. 6-3 Pine River-Backus. We are in set 3, tied up at 1.
Good long volleys from both teams.
Sure, just keep us here longer.
Yep.
Kaylee Johnson back to serve. 4 for 4 on the night. Here's the set. Left side, Chuba with the push and pushed it wide. 7-3 PRB. Swanville took the opener 25-18. Tigers responded 25-12. Two teams with some good experience on the floor. Both were in the Final Four of the section last year. PRB football opens the season Thursday, hosting Red Lake County Central on yourliveevent.com. And now there's, I don't know if it's a scoring question. I think it's a rotation question. And Kaylee Johnson just served. If we find they served out of rotation, there could be a violation and then a point awarded to Swanville. Johnson did just serve. And now we do have the whistle, and there's the rotation violation called against Pine River-Backus. Coach Krista Blake talking to her team. So they'll take the point off the board for Pine River-Backus. So it's 6-4. Swanville will get the point after the rotation violation. That one was kind of self-imposed, it looked like.
Yeah, just not paying attention. It's all right. Details. We're all working on details.
At the end of the day, you did the right thing if you called it on yourself. Golfers have to do that.
Sometimes.
Police your own is what they say sometimes. Addison Hudala is now back to serve for Swanville. as it's now 6-4. Of course, that 2-point swing, as they are now just confirming with the floor official the rotation. Now we're good to go, starting action again. Set 3, and Udala with an ace serve coming out of the rotation violation. So it really takes an interesting turn, as Pine River-Backus had scored, we thought, 6 of the last 7 points. Now instead, Swanville's back within a point. Udala with a big serve. And here's a tip across. Good hustle by Jackson, and it's bumped across by Bartel. Eveland right at the net. Set and miscommunication. Bukers and Burns not quite sure where that one was supposed to go, and just like that, that puts us tied at 6, and what a change with that rotation violation for PRB. Giving Swanville a little momentum boost. Here's the serve, and the set to the right side. Burns into the net, and Swanville will grab the lead at 7-6. 4 straight points for the visiting Bulldogs. 23 wins last year. PRB had 19. 2 solid programs. Eveland sets middle. Bukers deep. Jackson, nice job tracking that down to the right side and into the net. Bernadotte hands a point back over, and we're knotted up at a touchdown apiece, 7-7. Pine River-Backus back at home on Thursday next week against LaPorte, which will be on yourliveevent.com. Ariana Burns serving. Here's the set. It's Jackson from the back row. Kicked up. Evelyn, good hustle to track it down. Bukers off the net and places it right on the near side. Lead change number 3 as PRB grabs an 8-7 advantage. Burns serving again. Jackson with the pass. The tip up and the shot over by Chuba. Wirtz right on the near sideline. Bukers with a short tip just over the fingertips of Abby Wimmer getting her first action. Chuba sends it across. Here's the set to the left side. Dahl through the blocker and good. Dahl powering that one through. 9-7 Pine River-Backus, set number 3, and we're tied at 1 apiece. Burns right over the net, and an ace serve with some help. Can I get a little help from the net?
Little dribble.
Little bit. I am on record. I don't like that rule in high school that it counts when it hits the net and goes over. But it counts, and it's not my call. Here's the set to the right side, and a powerful shot to the corner by Chuba. PRB fans not real happy with the line judge call. Ooh, and he emphatically points, no, that hit the line. You know what? I'm okay with that. He didn't do it to show anybody up. He's like, hey, I saw it hit the line. Just telling them, I saw it.
I'm glad we have line judges for the game.
10-8. Evelyn to the left side to Dahl. Sent across. Chuba picks it up. Here's a shot over by Jackson. 2-point match set so far. Evelyn tries a tip. Well read. And Abby Wimmer gets mugged by her teammates as the junior middle blocker makes a big play on the block, and it's 10-9 in favor of PRB here in set number 3. Morgan Van Heel, the serve too deep. Easy read there for the Tigers on the service error. Can you imagine, like, before there were line judges? I mean, you're at the platform or on the floor, some of those plays, and there'd be some really tough calls. Mimi Bukers with the serve for the Tigers. Here's a tap at the net near side. Nicely played off the hand of Chuba. And now Kaylee Johnson cannot track it down. She had to try to work her way around Eveland. And it's 11-10 as Wirtz back in as the PRB libero. Chuba to serve for Swanville. Competitive third set. Back and forth we go. Here's the third hit over by Eveland. Had 2 ties and 3 lead changes. Here's Jackson with a swing. Dug out by Burns. Johnson to the middle. And a shot over by Brewer. Tapped on the near side by Van Heel. Coach Peterson said he thought his defense was really strong and quick. They've shown it a few times. Shot over by Dahl. Tipped right back over by Bartel. Evelyn with the bump set, and Johnson tipped at the net, and they're going to say that it's 4 hits. I thought I saw a hand of Wimmer touch that one, but they're going to say no, and we are tied at 11.
Yeah, one thing that's good for Swanville is they only lost one senior last year.
Schuba with the serve. Here's the set. Brewer tapped at the net by Wimmer again. And Abby Wimmer gives Swanville the lead. 12-11. Swanville took set 1, PRB set 2. And again, most of the points in this set are being scored on miscues, other than those couple of big blocks by Wimmer and a couple of kills. Here's Brewer with a swing into the net. Swanville has scored 6 of the last 7, and they lead 13-11. And Pine River-Backus, as quick and as scrappy as they were in the last set, not really looking as crisp in the set 3. Dahl trying to change it, and there is a hammer from Ella Dahl. 13-12. Substitution, Norman back in for the Tigers. Johnson back to serve. For the correct rotation this time. Here's a shot over. Johnson taps it up, and Wirtz and Burns unable to come together on that one. 14-12 Swanville. Hudala back into the front row. Avery Douglas to serve for the Bulldogs. Brewer, Norman, left side, taps it across. Jackson to Bartel, to Hudala on the left side. Left-handed tip, and Dahl played it, and they're going to say Hudala hit the net, and she did on the attack. 14-13. Both teams just trying to take advantage more of the other's miscues. Dahl with a line drive serve. Here's the set. Here's Chuba. Shot dug out by Johnson. Great dig. Here comes Swanville. Hudala with a tip near side and missed. Oh, she played it beautifully, except just a little too far. And we're going to have a substitution as Abby Bernadotte is going to come in for Chuba in the Swanville lineup. First action in the varsity for Abby Bernadotte. 14 all, the 4th tie here in set 3. We're tied at 1 apiece. Ella Dahl with the serve. Here's Addison Hudala, and it was in. And that is just the 2nd kill for Addison Hudala tonight. 15-14 Swanville.
I remember her from JV last year. She was really good. Good to see her getting varsity.
She's going to be counted on a lot this year, and there's going to be an ace serve for Allie Bartel. Back-to-back for the Bulldogs. They lead 16-14. Set number 3. Bartel serving it up again. Line drive serve to Wirtz. Here's the bump set from Johnson. Left side. Burns attacks deep. Dug out by Abby Bernadotte. To Jackson on the left side. Sends it deep. Dahl with the dig. Here's the set again, and it's Burns too far. 17-14 Swanville.
As the volleys get going, and just the excitement gets better.
Crank it up here in the home opener. Here's a Kaylee Johnson save. Oh my goodness. Kaylee Johnson was in the student section and kept that one alive. Wirtz with a dig. Hudala left side on a free ball. And all that great hustle by PRB taken away on a free ball and a slam down by Addison Hudala. Timeout, Pine River-Backus. Timeout here in set 3. Swanville 18, Pine River-Backus 14. As we will break, more volleyball coming right up here on Cash 95.9 and YourLiveEvent.com.
Weather and sports from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Shrub Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
And coming out of the timeout, Bartel puts one into the net. Her second service error here in set 3. That gives Pine River-Backus a shred of momentum back, 18-15. Ella Brewer back to serve. Sends that one too deep, and she gives it right back. Chuba re-enters for Swanville. Reese Jackson with the serve. Here's the set. Burns left side off the tip and good. Just the second kill tonight for Ariana Burns. Evelyn's going to come back in for the Tigers. 19-16 Swanville. Evelyn back to the left side on the service line. Sends a sharp one to Douglas. Sent up. Here's Hudala with a swing. Tipped at the net and dug up. Here's the bump set. Burns left side and kept it just inside the antenna. Bartel, Jackson from the back row. Deep off of Wirtz, and that'll be good. (20-15) Swanville. Coach Peterson made a reference. He felt that Swanville, PRB, Mille Lacs, Sabika, kind of your top 4 in Section 5A coming into the year, as Hudala sends one too far past the back line. 20-16 as Douglas right back in for the Swanville Bulldogs. Ariana Burns back to serve for PRB. Needing a comeback late in set 3. Here's Bartel, right side. Bernadotte, got it. Allison Bernadotte with a tough swing on the near side. She's full of smiles as she exits for Morgan Van Heel. Van Heel 1 for 2 in this set from the service line. Just right of center, short serve. Elidol with the play. Evelyn back to Dahl, left side. And Jackson with an easy dig. Here's the set, left side. Chuba way too deep. Hit that one off her heels. Brewer back in for Wirtz. Bukers will head back to serve. 21-18, latter part of set number 3. Sends it across to Douglas. Here's the back set. Jackson, back row attack into the net. Interesting timing for the back row attack. Up 4 late, trying to grab a 2-1 lead.
A little different look, something for Pine River to think about.
Bukers sets near, serves near side. Here's the set. Here's Abby Wimmer. That one dug out. Slapped across by Brewer. Stays in bounds. Coach Peterson wanted an illegal. Her carry didn't get it. And then Swanville hits it out of bounds. Pine River-Backus with 3 straight. Make that 4 straight. 21-20. And that forces Swanville to take a timeout. Set number 3. And could be a big one. Tied up at 1. It is 21-20 Swanville in set 3 here on YourLiveEvent.com and Cash 95.9.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too.
Shrub Excavating LLC.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has
Shrub Excavating.
21-20. Swanville was trying to close this one out. Was up 21-16. 4 straight for the Tigers. Bukers serve. Here's a shot through the block and a good answer. Coming out of the timeout, big time attack by Delaney Chuba. 22-20. Both teams have 1 timeout left here in set number 3. And Chuba, after the big kill, back to serve. Middle of the back row. Evelyn goes middle. Brewer swings. Dug by Douglas, and Wimmer was in the nets. So Buchers will get credit for Brewer will get credit for the kill. 22-21. Callie Norman back in for Evelyn. Pequot Lakes gets the sweep. 25-21 in set 3. Patriots with the 3-0 win over Bemidji tonight. Kaylee Johnson to serve. Sends it near side. Misplayed by Chuba. And that's going to be a free point. The Tigers have tied it up at 22. This would be a huge win for PRB.
Resilience is the term for the Tigers right now because they are staying with it.
Johnson sets. Right side. Short serve. Near sideline. Chuba. Bartel to the back row for Van Heel. Into the net. And again, kind of an interesting call, I believe, for a back row attack. And PRB takes a 23-22 lead late in set number 3. Swanville has a timeout remaining, does not take it. Floating serve to the back row. Bartel, left side. Jackson had to back up for it. Johnson sets right side, looking for Norman. Sends it on the sideline. Douglas, easy pick to the back row again. Van Heel bumps it across. Can the Tigers take advantage? Norman, right side, off the hands of Douglas. Up ahead, Jackson with a tip. Norman is there. And then it's Brewer. Back to Norman on the right side. And it's good! Brewer to Norman, and it's set point. The Tigers have scored 8 of the last 9. Down 21-16, and the Tigers have set point. Johnson for the win, near side. Chuba. The set going to Jackson. Sends it deep. Burns is there. Johnson to Norman on the right side, and she sends it wide. 24-23. Set point 2.
I like the contrasting coaching styles. Coach Blake's up and motivated, and Coach Peterson is just chill.
Douglas to serve for Swanville. Johnson had to really run to track it down, and we're tied at 24 as Norman hits it into the net. So I know, now let's go extra points. Tied at 1, we're in set 3. Douglas to serve. Mid-court to Wirtz. Good pass. Johnson right side. Ella Dahl off the tip. Got it. And the crowd is fired up. 5 ties, 5 lead changes in this third set. Set point number 3 for Pine River-Backus. Ella Dahl, a dangerous server, is back deep. Here it comes. Line drive. Douglas with the play. Bumped up, and Bartel bumps it. Here's a golden opportunity. Johnson off a great pass. Norman on the right side off the tip. Douglas saves. Bartel. Jackson left side through the blocking, good, and we will play on. 25 all. Allison Bernadotte back in for the Swanville Bulldogs. Allie Bartel back to serve. She's got 3 aces on the night. Sends a sharp liner to Dahl. Great pass. Johnson middle, and that one on the top of the net, and they're going to say Allison Bernadotte reached over the net. Coach Peterson doesn't like that call. I had a pretty good view. I think it was about 50-50, but that ball, I think, was almost all on the PRB side, and the Tigers catch a break. Set point. Here's Brewer with the serve. Here's the set. Left side, tipped over. Johnson is there. Brewer with the bump. Norman, right side, off the tip and in! And Pine River-Backus, trailing 21-16, wins it 27-25 to take a 2-1 lead. We head to set 4 after a quick recap and these messages as we thank our sponsors for helping us bring you this exciting early season volleyball matchup on Cash 95.9, RJBroadcasting.com, and YourLiveEvent.com.
is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrump Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrump Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrump Excavating LLC. Online at shrumpexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
We go to set number 4. Swanville took the first set 25-18. Pine River-Backus second set 25-12. And a doozy of a third 27-25. Pine River-Backus set 3, 6 ties, and 5 lead changes. Took PRB 4 set points to close it out. Pine River-Backus had an early 5-2 lead. Swanville turned it around with a 7-6 advantage. Pine River-Backus went up 10-7 with 4 straight points. Then Swanville had a nice run, scored 6 of 7 to take a 13-11 lead. Eventually, Swanville led by 5 at 20-15 and 21-16. Then Pine River-Backus went on an 8-1 run, had set point at 24-22, but the Bulldogs kept with it, pushed it to extras before the Tigers scored the win, 27-25. Tigers were 25 of 27 serving with 2 aces. Swanville 19 of 23 with a pair of aces. 6 assists for Allie Bartel, 3 kills for Reese Jackson, 2 for Delaney Chuba. For the Tigers, 3 assists apiece for Kaylee Johnson and Leah Eveland. 3 kills for Callie Norman, 3 for Ella Dahl. So Swanville will set first as we go to set number 4. And now Allie Bartel starts it, and the Tigers have to simply bump it across. Swanville will try to take advantage. Here's Jackson off the tip, down and good. The senior who had no kills in the first set, now up to 5 in the match, as Swanville will lead at 1-0. Another serve by Bartel. Tigers trying to play it. Callie Norman with a deep shot, saved by the Bulldogs. Jackson again, the senior, trying to get in a groove. Johnson on the left side. Ella Dahl deep. Douglas picks it up. Here's Bartel to Hudala. That one tipped, blocked at the net by Norman. Hudala tips, and they're going to award the point for PRB. They're going to say it was a double hit on Hudala. Back to serve is Ella Dahl. Now a little delay as they look for, again, a rotation check.
This time Swanville.
One of those where it's okay, you can ask for it, you can take a little break. Sometimes it's a momentum breaker, not so much in this case because it's so early in set 4, but one of those where you want to make sure you're not giving away those free points, and usually it takes a little bit just because it's a...
Well, we saw it earlier. It really affected the game.
Yep. Especially when you look at, how easily that could be a 4 or 5 point swing. Dahl sends it over. Swanville with a shot near side. Wirtz, and that's going to be a lift. Swanville grabs a 2-1 lead. Reese Jackson with the serve. Here's a shot across by Brewer. Saved by Bernadotte and Hudala, and she pushes it just outside. Swanville thought that hit the line. Line just fell differently. 2-2.
Different line judge over there, too, since the line judges switch after each game.
Yep. Teams don't. Line judges do. Brewer with a tough line shot serve. Swanville plays it. Chuba will pop it over the net. Eladol will bump. Left side, Ariana Burns. That one tipped, and a nice save by Chuba on the dive. Johnson will set middle for Buchers. Far side, got it. Buchers with 7 kills tonight. 14 assists for Kaylee Johnson. Tigers grab the lead at 3-2. Swanville won the first set. PRB sets 2 and 3. We're in the fourth, and here's Hudala, and she's able to power one across for just her 4th kill tonight. And Hudala will have the serve. Standing all the way back to the wall for Swanville. 3-3 here in set number 4, and she will record an ace and give Swanville the advantage. That's her 3rd ace of the night. Swanville trying to force a 5th set here in their opening night. Big section matchup, and this one after the ace goes way wide of the mark. And we're tied at 4. Evelyn checks back in for the PRB Tigers. Evelyn will head back to serve on that left side. She's served mostly from that left side. Off the net, Chuba plays it beautifully. The set, however, off the mark, and Bernadotte has to save it. Evelyn to Burns, left side, high off the net, tracked down by Douglas. The bump set to the near side, and Bernadotte will have to send it over, and she'll get called for a double hit. Tigers back in front 5-4, and a lot of mistakes early in set 4.
Yeah, them details, that's kind of the key of the day.
Evelyn sending it over again. Mid-court serve. Bartel has to track it down. Chuba with a free pass over. Here's the set to the middle. 1, 2, 3, and we got a whistle. We got one of the Swanville Bulldogs into the net. Buchers will get the kill. Tigers lead at 6-4.
When you leave the net vibrating like that, you're going to get called every time.
It's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
Here's another sharp serve over by Evelyn. Chuba, left side, saved by Dahl. Wirtz to the net. Burns will tap it over. Diving save by Chuba. And bumped across by Douglas. Johnson to Evelyn. Buchers will send it deep. Douglas will send it up for Chuba. She'll send it across. Lots of hits, nothing with big, strong attacks. Teams just scrapping 1, 2, 3 and over. Here's the set to the left side. Chuba again. Evelyn slides in. Here's the bump set from Johnson. Burns from behind the 10-foot line. Easily dug by Douglas. Now backpedaling as Bartel's set pushed Bernadotte back, and Swanville mistakes, feeding the PRB score 7-4 here in set number 4. Tigers lead the match 2-1. Post-game show next if PRB claims this victory. Here's the long serve, free ball, and Buchers slams it down. Buchers taking advantage of the free ball on the serve receive, and the Tigers have scored 5 straight to grab an 8-4 advantage. Evelyn continues the serving. Hard line serve to Jackson. Chuba on the left side, and she puts it way beyond the back line. Tigers have a little bit of height advantage and perhaps a little tired legs as that one sent way past the back line, and we've got a timeout by Swanville. We're in set 4. The Tigers lead the match 2-1. They lead set 4 9-4. And we are back after this on Cash 95.9 and yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Devin Kruger back with you. Pine River-Backus with the serve and a 9-4 lead as here's a shot and got in a timeout. Delaney Chuba sends her 7th kill to the forward. Both these teams showing good balance throughout the night. Can't key on just one hitter. Van Heel back to serve for Swanville, 2 for 3 in the last set. Eveland with the set, Buchers in the middle. Douglas, nice read, picks it up. Chuba will slap it across. Wirtz pops it up. Eveland, left side to Burns, and that one deep and just past the back line. Piers leading St. Cloud Cathedral 2-1 in AA volleyball. See if we can find any other ones. And now here's a short serve and an ace. Van Heel with the teardrop over the net. And after the timeout, 3 straight for the Bulldogs. It's 9-7 PRB. Sabika got the sweep over Walker Hackensack Akeley tonight. 25-21, 25-18, 25-22. Van Heel goes with a strong serve this time. And here's a shot over by Kaylee Johnson, dug out by Jackson. Here's Chuba again with the push. Eveland, one-handed by Buchers, and Eveland sets it across. Here's a tap at the net and into the net. Bartel tried to catch PRB off guard. Instead, hands him a point on the hitting error. Red Lake County Central beat Cass Lake Bena 3-0 tonight in volleyball. Here's Ariana Burns with a serve. Here's the set. Here's a shot off the tip. Picked up by Burns. Eveland to the left side, and no chance for Elidal to bring that one back into play. 10-8 here in set 4. Bertha Hewitt over Brownsville Eagle Valley 3-1 tonight. Just some regional scores. Here's a shot over by Chuba. Here's the set. Elidal left side, and that one dug out, tracked down, and bumped over by Douglas. Caught the net. Wirtz sends it over, tipped by Jackson. Great recovery by Eveland. Here's Wirtz to bump it over for PRB. Swanville with an opportunity here. They go to Abby Wirtz, and she sends it too deep. 11-8 Pine River-Backus. PRB volleyball back at home on Thursday next week against LaPorte on yourliveevent.com. Swanville's next matchup will be Tuesday, hosting the Mille Lacs Raiders. Mimi Buchers serves for PRB, and Swanville just taps it across, and Elidal tends it short into the net. Look of frustration on her face as she knew that she just handed them a point. 11-9. Here's Avery Douglas, the senior libero, serving. Eveland to the middle. Brewer rifles one. Douglas with another nice dig. Here's Jackson, tipped up at the net. Wirtz keeps it alive. Burns to Dahl, and Dahl bumps across. Here's the head. Here's Hudala, tipped at the net. Getting up there was Brewer to get a piece of it. Here's Kaylee Johnson. She'll tap it across. Bartel to Jackson on the left side, and that one off of Burns and good for Swanville.
You know, if there's a most improved in the offseason, I got to say it goes to Ella Brewer. She is just become a little monster out there.
Serve by Douglas again. Here's the set. Elidal through the blockers. Douglas with another nice dig. Now Chuba from the back row. Wirtz, and she can't get the pass. Chuba ties it up at 11. It was 9-4 Pine River-Backus, and now a 7-2 run by Swanville, tied at 11. Swanville trying to force game 5. Now here's one and an ace Tigers simply misplayed it as Douglas gets the ace. 12-11 Swanville. Fourth lead change here in set number 4. Douglas then puts it into the net. Tough way to end that series. We're tied at 12. Kaylee Johnson back to serve. Johnson, far sideline. Tough one to handle. Swanville slaps it over by Bartel. Here's Johnson, goes middle to Brewer. Brewer blocked at the net by Hudala. Haven't had a lot of blocks tonight, but that could be a big one.
That's a good battle there. Brewer versus Hudala. Both are tall girls on the front.
Now here's Bartel with a tough serve. And the Tigers simply 1-2-3 and over. Here comes Douglas. Bartel, quick set, Hudala, and she hits it wide on the near side. Tied at 13. Fifth tie of this fourth set. We're tied. It's 2-1 in favor of Pine River-Backus. We're tied at 13. Here's a long serve by Eladal, trying to keep Swanville on their heels. Bernadotte passes it over. Jad Johnson to Norman, right side, and Norman with a clear path for an easy spike. Tigers back in the lead, 14-13. Swanville took the first set. Tigers took sets 2 and 3. Here's the serve by Dahl, just clearing the net. Tipped over by Bartel. Popped up by the Tigers. Left side, Burns. Douglas with the dig. Free ball. Burns puts it into the net. We've seen both teams have a couple of those free ball opportunities, and not all of them have gone great.
I think they see it, they get excited, and the anticipation, they just mistime it.
Jackson serves for Swanville. Tied at 14. Burns left side, and she is rejected by Hudala. Fifth block of the night for Swanville. The Bulldogs back in front, 15-14. Jackson serves. Tigers cannot play it cleanly. And Swanville has scored 3 straight. 16-14 Bulldogs trying to force game 5. Pine River-Backus led 9-4 in this fourth set. Much better pass this time. Brewer right side, blocked again by Hudala. And the sophomore has suddenly sprung to life in the fourth set. She has 3 ace blocks in this fourth set. Jackson to Wirtz. Johnson to Burns left side. Gets over the block, but Douglas digs. Bartel one-handed tap. Johnson to Norman on the right side. Blocked again! And all of a sudden, Hudala has become the Great Wall of Swanville. 4 ace blocks in the fourth set. And the Tigers are going to have to find a way around her. Burns, you go over, it gives the back row time. Hudala, the tap, popped up, and a good hustle track down by Eladal. Norman sends it over. Hudala in the middle, got it!
Hudala just firing up her team.
Timeout, Pine River-Backus. Swanville on a 6-0 run leads 19-14, all thanks to Addison Hudala, the sophomore middle blocker. Timeout on the floor. We're in the fourth. Pine River-Backus leads the match 2-1. Swanville trying to force game 5. More after this on Catch 95.9 and yourliveevent.com.
Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
I've got a math question for you. When you add top.
Welcome back to Pine River. Addison Hudala through 3 sets. 3 kills, 1 block. In the 4th set alone, 2 kills, 4 blocks. And Swanville is on a run. Johnson, Norman, middle, picked up by Swanville. Douglas to the middle, Hudala bumps it over. Tigers badly need a point. Johnson goes right side for Norman, sends it over. Douglas is there. Bartel to Hudala with a tip. Johnson saves it up, leaning back. And here's Burns sending it near side, and she scores on the sideline. Ariana Burns with a big point for PRB to break the run.
Good to see Burns get a point there. She's been working this right side, near side all evening.
Brewer on the serve, left side, rifles it back to Douglas. Here's Chuba. She'll pop it over. Tigers with an opportunity. Johnson, the back set, and it's tipped at the net. Crawls over, and they're going to say it was not touched by Chuba. 20-15. Swanville hits that 20-point plateau as they try to force a 5th and decisive set. Hudala's now back in the back row to serve. Mid-court serve, Johnson, and miscommunication. Tigers pass it over. Bartel, right side, and Bernadotte sends it deep. If the Tigers are going to come back and turn it around, now's the time with Hudala on the bench, I think, with what she just did.
For sure, you got to take an advantage. And we'll get some Leah Evelyn for service, too.
Evelyn heads back to serve. 5 for 5 this set. She has 1 ace. That goes back to the first set. The jump serve deep to the far sideline. Chuba gets the set, the shot, and it is out. Swanville wanted a tip. Doesn't look like they'll get that call. 20-17. Pine River-Backus back within 3. Tigers lead the match 2-1. We're in the 4th. Eveland with another strong serve. Swanville, Chuba again, left side. That one was definitely touched, and it's down and good for Chuba. 21-17.
Got a couple points off Evelyn's service.
4-point lead for Swanville. Van Heel checks in. Had back-to-back aces her last time up before going error. Now here's one into the net by Pine River-Backus, 22-17. Of course, if we go to that 5th and decisive set, it's the 1st to 15. Van Heel serving deep to Dahl. Evelyn the pass, left side, Buchers dug out on a dive by Douglas. Chuba with the shot. Evelyn backpedaling, and Buchers has to bump it over. Here come the Bulldogs. Bartel to Abby Wimmer, just over the block. Wirtz is there, and Pine River-Backus was in the net. Abby Wimmer will collect the kill, her first of the night. And it's 23-17. Van Heel to serve. Walks up the jump serve, short serve. Dahl, Burns, and is bumped over. Tigers can't do anything with it. Here's the set. Chuba left side, dug up by Dahl. Johnson up over the official, but it crossed outside the antenna. And the Tigers not arguing too much. Line judge said the hit by Johnson did not cross inside the antenna, and it is set point Swanville. Van Heel to serve. And it's an ace! Van Heel puts it right inside the back line, and we will head to 5. Swanville 25, Pine River-Backus 17. We go the distance on opening night. 25-17, Swanvilles will head to the 5th right after this on Cash 95.9, WWWI-FM, Pillager, Brainerd, Baxter, and YourLiveEvent.com.
Track prejudice and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect. What do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Coach's Show coming up
Shrub
as well.
Excavate.
Our Saturday Sports Wrap returns this Saturday morning. Interviews with area coaches highlighting their team's weekly performances. 9 a.m. on KKIN, AM 930, FM 103.1, The Gobbler, streaming online live at rjbroadcasting.com or with the Gobbler app. Then we'll post the show online after it's completed. Well, here we go, folks. Opening broadcast night. You know, I want to say my first volleyball match last year went 5 as well. Just, why not start going the distance? Swanville took the first set 25-18. PRB won 2 in a row, 25-12 and then 27-25. Swanville, after PRB led 14-13, finished on a 12-4 run, winning 25-17. And here we go to the 5th. Allie Bartel will lead things off. First to 15, takes this big section matchup in Pine River. Swanville, this is their opening game of the season. For Pine River-Backus, 3-2 coming in after they opened the season with the Floodwood Polar Bear Tournament. Polar Bear Classic, I should say, last Friday. Little straightening of the antenna. Now we're ready. Bartel will send a sharp liner over to Burns at the net. Free ball. And Hudala tips it. No, they're going to say she reached over. Head coach Luke Peterson and the Swanville faithful do not like the call. But again, we have a pretty good view, and it looked like her whole hand was reaching over the net as Eladal serves, and now here's a tap across by Hudala. Just got it in on the right side. She'll have to bump it across, and she sends it outside the antenna. We're tied at 1. Big section win for whoever claims this one. Reese Jackson serving mid-court to Wirtz. Johnson the pass, left side, and Burns has to bump. Miscommunication on that one for the Tigers. Here's a shot across, deep. Eladal, Johnson looking, and Brewer will pop it over. Both teams running all over. Here's Hudala with a shot and a score. 2-1 Swanville.
Devin, we've called Pine River-Backus games quite well. These girls know each other. I'm really surprised with the miscommunications.
Tough serve by Jackson, and ace. Reese Jackson, ace serve. 3-1 Swanville in the 5th. Quickly the whistle blows. Jackson sending one over to Dahl. Johnson the high bump. Burns left side off the tip. Sliding in is Bartel. Saved by Chuba. Wirtz. Johnson goes right side. Norman with the shot through the blocker and good. Norman's 9th kill of the night. 3-2. 16 assists for Kaylee Johnson. Ella Brewer back to serve. Brewer's got 3 aces on the night. Left side, sends a deep liner to Douglas. Beautifully played. Bartel to Hudala. The push down and good. Tigers wanted a lift and a carry on that one. They do not get it. I think the fans are into it, Matt.
I think they got it. I too would have called a carry, but that's all right.
Padala back to serve. Here's Johnson, the left side. The attack just spins over the net and down, and Mimi Buchers with a stroke of luck shot. Hit it off the side of her hand, but had just enough that it spun off the top of the net and dropped into an empty far corner.
The old dribble shot.
Eveland in to serve. She was 7 for 7 in the fourth set. Swanville forcing game 5. Eveland far sideline. Chuba low pass. Here's Bernadotte, and that one well past the back line, and we're tied at 4. Allison Bernadotte has struggled with hitting tonight. She has had just 3 kills, a number of errors. Eveland sends one over to Douglas. Bartel goes left side to Chuba. Chuba, she paints one inside. Chuba in double figures now with 10 kills. 5-4 Swanville. Van Heel in to serve for the Bulldogs. Swanville in blue, left to right. Van Heel had 3 aces in the last set, including the winner. Eveland to Buchers, left side. Douglas, one-handed save. Chuba will pop it over. The pass, Eveland, right side to Buchers. High off the blockers, but stays in play. Eveland left side to Burns this time. Burns off the tip. Douglas saves. Bartel sends it over. Johnson will set left side for Burns with a tap. Bartel will go left side to Chuba. Chuba on the sideline, and they're going to call the lift on that one. Tied at 5 here in the 5th. They got a little bit tighter with those lift calls last year or the year before. Just got to get that handoff a little bit quicker. Ariana Burns serving for the Tigers, midcourt. Bartel, Chuba again, slams one down and good. Finding the back line. Good shot there by Delaney Chuba. 6-5 Swanville in the 5th. Winner take all. Chuba to serve. Sends it deep down the far side to Burns. Eveland to the back row. Burns just over the net. Van Heel digs. Here's Abby Wimmer with a shot at the net. Blocked. Sent back across. Eveland will go middle. Buchers with the shot too far. Swanville with a 7-5 lead.
Yeah, we're only playing the 15.
Chuba on that left side sends one to Wirtz. Eveland sets left side for Dahl. Dahl off the net, 4 hits, 3 straight for the Bulldogs. 8-5 Swanville. Chuba gets the signal and the whistle. Midcourt serve again to Wirtz. Eveland will go right side. It's Buchers, dug out by Douglas. Bartel, Jackson with a tip. Dahl is there. Eveland to the middle. Buchers off the tip. Van Heel, the set. Back row, Chuba, deep. Burns cleans it up. Eveland taps it across. Douglas sends it over, but out of bounds. Well played there by Leah Eveland. 8-6 Swanville in the 5th. And Mimi Buchers serving. Buchers, a serve, went wide off of Van Heel. Big time ace for Buchers. 8-7 Swanville in the 5th. Fans getting their money's worth on the home opener. Bartel, Jackson left side, tipped but down. Not a lot of height, but enough juice on that one from the senior Reese Jackson. Only 5'5". Avery Douglas to serve for Swanville. And midcourt, low serve. 2 Tigers collide, and the Tigers cannot get it over in 3. 10-7 Swanville. Swanville 23-4 last year. PRB 19-12. Met in the 5A semis. Trying to get the upper hand early in this 2025 season. Johnson blocked. Addison Hudala. And a timeout, Pine River-Backus. Swanville trying to close in on a big road win to open up the year. The Tigers need another comeback. Set number 5, play into 15. It's 11-7 Swanville on Cash 95.9 and yourliveevent.com.
Is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrump Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrump Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrump Excavating LLC. Online at shrumpexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River.
We are back, 11-7 Swanville, 5th set. Avery Douglas the serve. Here are the Tigers in a shot by Dahl. Dug up on a dive. Reese Jackson sends it over. Tigers got to stay calm yet dig deep. Ella Dahl with a shot. One-handed by Douglas. Chuba runs it down and Douglas pushes across. Johnson to Brewer on the right side into the net. Coach Peterson and the bench loves it. The hustle from Delaney Chuba. And Peterson said their back row is quick and passes well. Douglas the serve. Swanville 3 points away from a big road win, and the Tigers free ball it over. Bartel left side. Hudala with the kill. 5 straight points for the Swanville Bulldogs here in set number 5. The serve from Douglas again. Johnson to Dahl, left side Douglas, Bartel, Jackson, the shot, and it is out just by a little bit. That could be a big break for the PRB Tigers. Norman will come into the front row. Kaylee Johnson to serve. Sends it deep off the side of Chuba, and Jackson will tap it across. Tigers need one. Brewer sends it deep. Douglas slaps it up. Here's a set to Jackson. Jackson will send it deep to Burns. Johnson left side. It's Dahl cross court. Douglas with the one-hander. Jackson to Van Heel, cross court. High pass, Wirtz with the bump. Norman on the right side, cross picked up by Bartel and pushed over. Johnson to the left side to Dahl. Dahl off the tip, and there's Jackson. Hudala with a tip over. Tigers coming back. Wirtz left side. Dahl left-handed tip, and it's sent across again by Douglas. Here's Dahl again with a tip. Saved at the net. Free ball down by Brewer. And listen to the PRB crowd. Don't tell me that these fans don't love volleyball.
Absolutely. I love this place.
Johnson to serve. The Tigers down 13-9. It's the first to 15. Bartel, Hudala, left side. Wirtz off the fan. Bumped over by the Tigers. Bartel again, and is sent over by Chuba to the deep corner. Here's Burns, and the third hit from Norman. Not enough. Match point for Swanville as Allison Bernadotte comes back in, and back to serve Allie Bartel, the sophomore center. The new piece for the Bulldogs. Mid-court to Wirtz. Johnson to the right side. Dahl tips. Right there is Bernadotte, slapped over by Hudala. Johnson backpedals. Here's a shot, and Allison Hudala with the block to end it for the Swanville Bulldogs. The way she took over in the fourth set, that was almost a fitting way to end it. Addison Hudala turned it on in the fourth set and helps lead the Swanville Bulldogs to an opening night win here in Pine River. Final of set number 5, 15-9. We went the distance. We had a lot of fun, and the Bulldogs come away with the victory. 25-18, 12-25, 25-27, 25-17, 15-9. And the Bulldogs go to 1-0 as the Pine River-Backus Tigers fall to 3-3. The post-game recap is coming up next as the Tigers fall to Swanville here on your liveevent.com.
71 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with number 1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Piers, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
On in just a bit, okay?
And we welcome you back. It is the post-game recap. High school volleyball, Swanville gets the win 3-2 over Pine River-Backus. What a way to start the season. As before we get into all the recap and stuff, we already have some guests. And first up is going to be our big deal of the game. And our big deal is brought to you this year. A big thanks to all of our great sponsors. Hills Auto and Tinting Solutions of Baxter, Tykes Carpet Castle in Brainerd, BigDealAuctions.com, Donlinger Automotive in Brainerd, Matson Lumber in Nisswa, Wides Major Appliance in Brainerd, W.W. Thompson Concrete Products in Brainerd, the Pizza Ranch in Baxter and Little Falls, and Atwater Chevrolet GMC in Aiken. And our big deal, well, the gal that really turned it on in the final two sets to help lead Swanville to the win, sophomore Addison Hudala. You're down 2-1. What was the conversation like for your team going into set 4?
You know, going into set 4, before the set, we always tell ourselves that we need to have a lot of energy. I mean, sometimes like we get down, but it's like we've came back before like this. Last year, our first game actually, we were down and we came back and we won, and we know what it's like to come back. We know what it's like to fight. I mean, we're a good team, and I mean, we just told ourselves that, like, whatever happens, make it happen.
Was there anything in particular that you noticed that all of a sudden your timing on the blocks just turned completely around? Because that made such a huge difference.
Yes, it did. I was actually on the bench, and my one coach is like, just you drag your 1 foot once, and if you don't, you'll get on point. And I stopped, and I just did it. I mean, I was surprised that I did do it.
Sometimes it's funny just how simple it can be,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
With this is so cool because, like, last year you guys played for the first time. You win the regular season meeting, they win the playoffs. You both bring back a lot of experience. What was it like, in terms of the energy and even maybe a little bit of the nerves, having this matchup to start your season?
Yes, it was actually very nerve-wracking. We just came in and we're like, we want revenge because, it was a tough game. We didn't do very well at the end of the season last year, and we knew that, like, both of us are great teams, and we knew that both of us could win, and we both had a great chance, so we just knew that we had to come in and just try to get our revenge back.
Addison, outstanding game. Again, sets 4 and 5. It was fun to watch how you just turned it on and kind of dominated at the net. A lot of fun. Congratulations on a huge win.
Thank you.
Addison Hidala, the big deal for today's game for the Swanville Bulldogs. And then we'll bring in head coach Luke Peterson as he gives her a well-deserved high five after this one. Coach, when we talked, and of course I asked, it's the first game of the season. What do you want to see? You said, few mistakes. They're going to happen. Set 2 was kind of rough for the Bulldogs. They had a lot of mistakes, and some of them kind of played a part. But what did you see from the coach's side of things that really propelled and turned it around for your team to come back down 2-1 to get a big win on the road?
Well, we got our confidence back a little bit. It was easy to win the first set because they were making the mistakes, and we were happy-go-lucky. Second set didn't go well, and we kind of lost our edge, and we were down on ourselves. Well, can't stay there. Third set was a good set. We were right there, could have took it. Then I thought the fourth and fifth set, we played our game more.
When you talked to me and you sent the notes, you talked about your back row, and I think, obviously what you're building and what you've now built in Swanville. Of course, I only have the last couple of years of experience, but certainly PRB they've always been so known for scrapping and picking up those balls and making sure that nothing drops. Some of the plays, especially when you had that confidence, were so incredible with the hustle of your team. Take us through that back row and what you thought of them as this game played on.
Boy, they received. Pine River served well, and we handled the pass. We adjusted. But our defense can be in two places at once, it seems, in that back row. And, there's a reason why they're great players. There's a reason why one's going to college next year to play, and there's a reason why the other one probably will too. They battle. They never give up on it, and they battle, and that's what it takes.
When it comes to going to a fifth set, when you win the fourth as you did, and the way Addison kind of took over, you had that momentum going into the fifth. What was your message to your team, Luke?
Just be confident. Play your game. I mean, we've practiced for 2 weeks, scrimmaged for 2 weeks. These girls were together all year last year. You can't change anything because you get to the fifth set. Pine River's a good team, great defensively, so you got to go at them. You can't let them have easy balls, and then you got to cut off their hitters. And we were able to do that last 2 sets, and it was a game changer.
You had mentioned to me too, that you had a lot of experience back, but your young setter, Allie Bartel, she was kind of that new piece with a lot of the experienced players. How do you feel she handled, especially some of those key pressure situations down the stretch?
I thought she did really well. She got better as the game went on, understood what we're trying to tell her through the game, and made the adjustments. And when you get a couple hitters going like Addison and Delaney, where that's hard to stop if you can just get the ball close.
It was a really nice win for Swanville, down 2-1, coming back, taking set 4 and set 5. That's a big win for your club, Luke.
Absolutely. You want to play good teams early in the year and see where you are, what you got to work on. And I mean, Pine River, they're obviously been the best team in our half of the section for quite a while. So, I mean, you got to test yourself, and this is a good win for us.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. Best of luck as now this new season rolls on.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Luke Peterson, head coach for the Swanville Bulldogs, with the victory. As we will take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do more recap, more awards, and stats coming up here on your liveevent.com and Cash 95.9.
Weather and sports from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio. with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and RJBroadcasting.com, local voices from local radio.
Shrub Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Do something fun and make new friends. Join a bowling league at Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River. Community Bowl and Pizzeria has openings for all leagues: men's, women's, mixed, youth, seniors, and also Special Olympics. Enjoy some friendly competition and have a great time. Food specials offered on all league nights. Don't forget Moonlight Bowling every Saturday evening. For information on leagues or to sign up, call or stop into Community Bowl and Pizzeria in downtown Pine River. 218-587-3100.
We are back here in Pine River where the Swanville Bulldogs grab a 3-2-5 set victory over the PRB Tigers. Let's do the quick recap. Swanville, of course, they want to get on the road. They stopped up here right away. We'll still, of course, try to get the Tigers representatives up here. We still have one more award, a couple of more awards to do, but let's do the quick recap. Swanville took game 1 25-18. Pine River-Backus dominated game 2 with a lot of Swanville miscues, 25-12. Set 3, Coach Peterson just said, was a great one. Had 5 lead changes, 6 ties. Pine River-Backus took it 27-25. Set 4, Swanville bounces back a 12-4 run to end it, winning 25-17. Then the Bulldogs close it out 15-9. Stat-wise, looking at it from the numbers standpoint, serving-wise, Swanville was 92 of 102 for 90% with 11 ace serves. Tigers were 90 of 94, 95% with 7 aces. Leading the way for the Tigers tonight, Kelly Johnson had 17 assists, was perfect from the service line. Mimi Buchers, both these teams, especially PRB, they have some balance with their hitting. Mimi Buchers had 10 kills and a block. Callie Norman had 9 kills and 2 blocks. These are unofficial by my tally. Ella Dahl with 7 kills. Ella Brewer had 4 kills. Setting-wise, Leah Evelyn also had 8 set assists. She scored an ace serve. Had an ace serve from Mimi Buchers, an ace from Ella Dahl, 3 aces from Ella Brewer, and an ace from Ariana Burns. For the Swanville Bulldogs, and they have one setter, Allie Bartel. She ended up with 27 on the night. Also scored 3 ace serves. Addison Udalar, big deal. 8 kills, 7 ace blocks, and 6 of them in sets 4 and 5 combined. She also pitched in with 3 ace serves. Delaney Chuba, 11 kills. She was perfect from the service line. Avery Douglas, the libero, was outstanding. They had an ace serve. Reese Jackson had 7 kills. Also pitched in with an ace serve as Swanville gives the win 3-2. Pequot Lakes got the win over Bemidji on their home floor, opening up the season with a 3-0 victory. We'll see if there's other scores as well before we wrap it up. When we come back, we'll see if we can get our PRB representatives. Got a couple other awards to name, and we'll start to look to wrap it up as we had a fun one here in Pine River to open up the 2025 fall broadcast season. A 3-2 Swanville victory here on YourLiveEvent.com and Cash 95.9.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at Enbridge.com.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's coverage. Hannikin Insurance has been serving families and businesses in central Minnesota for over 30 years. By working with an independent agency like Hannikin Insurance, the process of finding insurance that is appropriate for your goals and budget is simplified. Contact Hannikin Insurance Agency in Pine River, Little Falls, Pierce, or Brainerd online at HannikinInsurance.com. Let Hannikin Insurance give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
The PR.
And we are back. Swanville gets the victory 3-2 over Pine River-Backus. As now joining us is our star of the game, brought to you by Hugo's Family Market in Pine River. As you can find it all, still enjoy the local hometown atmosphere. Remember, every Wednesday, gallons of milk are just $2 for $6. Visit them online for more and some of their special sales. Go to PineRiverFamilyMarket.com. And for the PRB Tigers, our star of the game is going to be Kaylee Johnson, senior center. Got a couple outside swings as well. Do you like it? Do you love when you get that chance to take a couple of swings at the net?
I really enjoy it. It kind of just got thrown at me tonight, but I'm willing to do what it takes, I guess.
Wasn't really in the play call at those moments, right?
No.
Well, obviously, a tough battle. I know you had you gals have played in that Floodwood Polar Bear Classic, so you had some of that game experience, but it's a little different. It's the home opener. You have that opportunity to maybe go 5 sets. You got a big section game, and it's your senior year. What were the feelings like? What was the conversation like for your team to try to open up with a win on the home floor?
We were excited. We were looking forward to it. We knew we played them last year in the section semifinal. We wanted to come out and give our crowd a good game. I mean, we didn't come out with the win, but I thought our energy and our effort was there.
Well, the crowd was good. Swanville brought a good group. I mean, it was, could you feel the atmosphere like we could up here into this gym and the noise that the fans were making?
Definitely towards the end of the game, it felt a little more real. It was just crazy.
You go down the first set, and then the second set, they had a lot of mistakes. You kind of capitalized on them. As you're going on, and again, I see you 5 seniors, you're all captains. What were you talking about as you got into sets 2 and 3, and you were able to at least build up some momentum?
We just said we needed to fight for every ball. We knew that we weren't going down easy. We came out, we fought, we played our game, and that's what helped us come through.
Obviously, one of their stud players, their middle blocker, really just turned it on in set 4. When you're on the wrong side of that, was it getting frustrating for you and the other girls?
It was. It definitely was. It's hard, especially in serve receive, especially when the pass isn't always on. We got to work with what we can, but I feel like towards the end of it, we made it work.
Well, you talked about, at the end of it, it was a great match. It was a fun one. Definitely one that you'll learn going forward. Now you have a week off. You had your tournament. Then you had kind of that little break. You get this match in, and now you have the break as you get ready to start the school year. So what are you hoping a match like this can do for the Tigers going forward, Kaylee?
I hope it shows where we're at and how much we can improve and the little things that we can improve on. I know we're going to come back to the gym and put in a lot of work to improve.
Well, it still was a nice performance. Obviously, as one of the centers, you control that offense. Had you for 17 assists, perfect from the service line. All in all, a fun game to be a part of tonight. We wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Kaylee Johnson, our Hugo's Family Marketplace Pine River star of the game. When we come back, we've got a little bit more as Swanville gets the win 3-2 here in Pine River on Cash 95.9 and yourliveevent.com.
Happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers.
Thank you.
Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
For trusted news.
Back with you on the post-game recap. We are awaiting Krista Blake, head coach for the PRB Tigers. So let's quickly name our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game. And we're going to go with Delaney Chuba for the Swanville Bulldogs. 11 kills, perfect from the service line. And she plays all around. And it was something that Coach Luke Peterson, she was one of the gals that he highlighted, especially when you got into that sets 4 and 5. But she was pretty even keel. You got plenty of attacks, good hitter against Swanville. Doesn't have a whole lot of height outside of Addison Hudala, but Delaney Chuba at 5'8", had some great digs, lots of great hustle, even in that fifth set. She had a hustle point running towards the crowd off the back corner and made a great save, kept the ball in play. Swanville ended up getting a massive point out of it. She definitely brought that energy point in and a point out, as she is the Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game. Swanville gets the victory. Again, they took the first set. Pine River-Backus took sets 2 and 3. Swanville comes back to take sets 4 and 5. And we're hoping to get head coach Krista Blake. Come on over here, coach. As we will chat with her about this matchup. Pine River-Backus falling to 3 and 3 on the season. They'll be back home next Thursday against LaPorte. Of course, we will have the coverage on yourliveevent.com. Swanville, after opening up the season with a win, they have another section matchup coming up on Tuesday. They're going to have their home opener as they will host the Raiders of Mille Lacs. And Krista Blake will join us, head coach for the Tigers, as she's going through some numbers and whatnot. I wonder if your stats match mine. We'll have to maybe take a look. Obviously, a great matchup, a big section matchup, very exciting, great crowd, all those factors. Just not a Tigers win overall. Coach, what did you feel about tonight's match for your crew?
They had really good effort. I feel like we all just left this gym a little bit bittersweet. It was good volleyball, all 5 sets. So that's something that we're all kind of proud of, but we kind of know where we need to clean it up at and push through and actually be on the winning side of those 5-set matches.
One of the things that I always kind of look at as I'm keeping stats and the game goes on, the first 2 sets in particular, it felt like early season volleyball. You were earning a point here and there, but a lot of points were more scored on mistakes and errors. So as a head coach, when you're kind of seeing that play out, what's going through your mind as to, where can we take advantage and try to keep advantage and really kind of turn the game?
Oh, that's on our serve. I think even at that beginning of our first set, not beginning, but in our first set, we had a lot of missed serves. So it's keeping the ball in play. But this is where I'm going to tell you, we play some really good defense that I'm also a strong believer in. We will force a team to have to be perfect to beat us to earn those points. So a lot of those errors on those other sides are us winning those points on defense, is where we kind of stand on that.
Oh, absolutely. And it showed, especially in set 2. I mean, set 2, you look at the 4 sets, and that set 2 is the anomaly, is 25-12, and you just kind of were able to take those mistakes and really pull away from it. Set 3 was really, really fun. And you're down 21-16. You come back, but then you have the stress of not being able to close it out right away. But 6-6 the ties, 5 lead changes in set 3. When you're down 21-16 in a crucial, at that time, seemingly a crucial game 3, what did you love about the way your team finished that one?
We stay big. We talked about big girl volleyball and not to be shrinking, and we like to stay tall on all of our plays. So it was really nice to see, especially from our outsides. I think that they actually were some of our point enders, which isn't like the norm for us tonight, but in those tight ones, they actually approached up, reached high, and scored us those points. Instead of shrinking small, they stayed big.
So you're up 2-1, and then, of course, they turn it around at set 4, and they close out, and their big middle ends up just, blowing up. And I asked Kaylee the same question. I said, did it feel like, was it getting a little frustrating on your side when all of a sudden she just is, blocking and making the hits? From a coach's standpoint, what are you thinking of, how can we adjust when a player like that gets so hot at the net?
you spread that offense, you get that pin to pin, and that's when we start building up our setters and making sure that our attackers are going to be coming off and fully transitioning to approach up high. That danger zone, when you have a nice tall middle up here, and if we're going to set a high ball in the middle, it's probably not going to go in our favor, but that's some of our growing points that we're going to get after here soon. But
so with that, what was your key message to your team going into that fifth set to try to turn it back around and get the Tigers the win?
Control it, you can control it. So we might have started looking a little bit sluggish, honestly. But I mean, you saw it in the third set. We are pretty good at like digging our way and like, I call it like pestering. I think we're a pretty good pestering team because again, our defense is so good. That we just needed to be at fast feet and get to the ball, right? We just better the ball for our teammates. That's where we end up like, because it's so easy to go internal on it. And that's another like a little bit of something that we're working on too. But as soon as we start to go and it gets tight, we look for teammates instead of going internal. We go, how can I like better a ball for you? How can I go and encourage you? I'm going to look towards you and inspire you, and everybody then gets to be connected and inspiring each other. There you go.
Well, and again, that's something that the learning experience of now you take that, you move forward. There's obviously still a lot of season ahead, and you've got a week off, get school started, try to get everybody in the routine. You got LaPorte coming next. So we'll, of course, have one of our crew here, Krista, and we'll look forward to, of course, lots more coverage for the Tigers volleyball team as the season rolls on. So unfortunately not the win tonight for you, but it was a lot of fun to be here for this one, and we're looking forward to more, Coach. Congratulations on a hard-fought game.
Thank you.
Krista Blake, head coach for the PRB Tigers as they fall to Swanville, going the distance tonight, 3-2. We'll wrap it up right after a quick timeout here on Cash 95.9 and yourliveevent.com.
Sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Shrub Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Shrub Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basement septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 42 years and still digging it right. Shrub Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online at shrubexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on...
And we are back. Simple wrap-up here. Swanville gets the win 3-2 over Pine River-Backus. Swanville 1-0 on the season. Pine River-Backus now 3-3. Looking at other scores, it was Pequot Lakes with a 3-0 victory over Bemidji on their home floor tonight. Cromwell Wright defeated Crosby Ironton with a... Or excuse me, flip that. Crosby Ironton beat Cromwell Wright with a 3-0 sweep. Sauk Rapids Rice got the win in Brainerd tonight. That was 3-0 in favor of Sauk Rapids Rice. And let's see if we can find any other scores. Looks like for Class A, against Sabika, beat Walker Hackensack Agley. That was a 3-game sweep for the Trojans, who were the defending 5A section champions. And it looks like that might be about it. Oh, there's one. Mora defeated Pillager tonight. That was a 3-game sweep. St. Cloud Cathedral and Piers went the distance tonight, with Cathedral scoring the 3-2 victory. You can always find more, of course, for those listening to Cash 95.9. Tune in tomorrow morning for the Wake the Lakes Morning Show. We'll have all of the scores and a look at the schedule. High school football opens up Thursday night. Pine River-Backus will be on yourliveevent.com. Pillager will be up in Warroad. We'll get some help from our R&J friends up in Warroad, and we'll have that one for you on Cash 95.9. Check out rjbroadcasting.com for the full broadcast schedule. As that'll do it for us tonight from Pine River. Final score: Swanville 3, Pine River-Backus 2. 25-18, 12-25, 25-27, 25-17, 15-9, Swanville with the victory. Big thanks to, of course, my fellow crewmates for hopping up and joining me for the trip here in Pine River. Of course, new activities director Kyle Crocker for the PRB Tigers, new AD, of course, coaches and everyone else for joining us, especially those sponsors for making it happen. Thanks a bunch for joining us. Tune in again. And, of course, you can tune into yourliveevent.com for our weekly coaches show on Wednesdays and see the upcoming schedule for the PRB Tigers. From all of us at R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, have a great night. I'm Devin Kruger. Let's do this again. Oh, that's right. That's one thing we got to do, too. That's dang end of game screen hasn't been updated in like 3 years.